Why is it so hot in Alabama right now?
I don't know, because I don't know what the weather is normally supposed to be at this time of year. You know, I don't be paying attention for real. Like now, at this point in time, it's only now that it matters to me since we supposed to be planning stuff and all of that. But this is new for me.
Yeah,
Before now, it really didn't matter. I was just living life.
yeah, because it was like 86 degrees the other day. Like this past week, it's just been unseasonably hot. I know it ain't supposed to be this hot in February.
See, it only mattered to me as far as what I was gonna put on when I went outside.
Oh, so it's just about your comfort.
Before,
Mm.
now it matters.
Mm-hmm. Because you actually want
Big
to
time.
benefit from the weather because you want to plant some stuff.
Right.
Yeah, because our planting season starts March the 6th.
Mhm.
If you live in West Alabama, well, is it all of Alabama that get the same zones? They got
I don't think all of Alabama is in the same
okay. So
zone.
let me get some understanding. I'm gonna look it up on my phone while we're talking. So the United States is zoned out according to the temperature and the time of year for different plant seasons. Is that right? That's like it go according to like the temperature.
I don't know how they break it down, but I
Okay.
know what makes it easy is that you can look it up because that's the
On
only
Google.
way that I knew what zone we lived in. Like it wasn't like for me just common knowledge,
Hmm.
but the fact that you can look it up makes it easier. And like when you get ready to plant, if you go like to the feed and seed to get whatever you're gonna plant or
Hmm.
farmers market or wherever you get what you're gonna plant, you can ask because you know I'm sure they know
And then
what zone you live in.
then they got a farmer's almanac
All
too.
right. Also, like there's a date for starting seed indoors, and then there's a different date for starting uh, seed and everything in the ground.
Hmm.
But it'll break it down, especially if you're looking at Farmer's Almanac.
Hmm.
It tells you all of that information. So that's a good resource to have.
Yeah, I got the farmer's almanac the last time we went to the co-op, the
Hmm.
feed and seed. But I think we are in 7B
Hmm.
planting zone, and our planting season starts March the 6th. So coming up, we probably gonna be
I'm excited.
yeah, I
I'm
am too.
ready.
I am too.
I'm ready to get back outside
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
start
it feel
working.
like in the wintertime, it feel like you be on vacation kinda.
Not really, because it's always stuff to do. Like in different seasons, it's just different things to work on.
Maybe for me, it feel like I be feeling like more obligated to be outside when it's warm.
Hmm.
But when it's cold, you know how like in the morning when you open the door and when that cold hits you, and you be like, you know what, I could do that later when the sun come up.
But then maybe it's not so much, different outside stuff that you might work on in different, times. It might be other areas that you work on.
That's true
You
because
know.
you know what, I think the pigs was what kept us outside all winter.
Hmm.
Because other than that, the chickens don't need that much maintenance. They don't need like we don't have to take every meal they eat to them.
And it
Like
depends on what animals you have,
yeah.
and what crop you have too. Because depending on what we would have had in the ground at that time, it just depends on what you got going on.
Yeah, because like with the chickens, we was able to put their food in a 55-gallon drum and cut the holes in it so that they could eat from the sides of it. So they are able to feed themselves, and then their water is in a thing where they just peck at it and get the water out. So chickens, they are so low maintenance. If you think about getting
And
some
then if we
chickens,
would have had those dairy goats, it would have been some milking going on. It don't matter what time, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hold on. Who finna milk? So the goats that we supposed to be getting, they got to get milked every day.
I mean, if you want to keep the milk going, if they didn't have, any kids on them at the time, then, if you want to keep the milk going, you got to keep milking them.
Mm, that changes everything. That changes everything.
That's why you
Okay.
need to think through what it is that you want to do before you invest in getting certain animals. You need to think through the whole process of what work is involved before you make a decision about what animals you want to get.
Have you ever milked anything?
I have not.
This should be interesting.
But
You
people
have
will
to,
get to see and experience all of the things that go on with this whole process. So that should be pretty funny. I'll have TikTok videos.
do we
So
have to
we'll
help
see.
them? So like the ones that, so when you say when they in milk, you mean pregnant or just they had a baby and then they breastfeeding, right?
Yeah, that at the time when they breastfeeding already.
Okay.
So we'll
So
see what happens.
what if somebody gives us one that's pregnant?
And that'll be a whole other thing going on.
So we're gonna be some midwives, some doulas, some goat doulas.
Probably. Yeah, we will be.
Okay.
So we'll be watching a lot of videos to see what we need to, you know,
Mm.
what we need to do to help. At
Yeah,
the
because
time.
because YouTube is. I mean, you really can't find any of that stuff on YouTube, like how to deliver
I've
a
already
goat
been
baby,
watching those videos.
how to milk a goat. You watched how to milk a goat?
Not about milking a goat. I've already watched some videos from some guys I subscribe to on YouTube that have goat farms already about what kits to buy to help them when they have the kids, like what to do after they have the kids, and you know, like how to help them out.
Man.
So
Okay.
we'll see. I feel as if I'm already equipped here, but you know I'm going. You know me, so I'm gonna watch these videos and make sure I know what I'm doing
See,
before it
this is
happens, so
this.
that I'm ready.
I think this is what goes on. You like to do really hard stuff, and
I'm gonna be
then
ready. I can't be just standing here like
no,
I
but
don't know
see,
what to do.
you like to do really hard stuff, but then you'll sell it to me like minimalist type level, like, oh, all you gotta do is just, like, if anybody ever show up and say all you gotta do is just, don't just, you need to research it for yourself and
Because
find
I
out
mean, it may be
what's
hard, but I
behind
mean,
that
it's not
just.
impossible. So I feel like I can do anything. You know me.
I'm
It
not
might be
talking
hard,
about
but you know, I mean, what's up?
right, but don't minimize it and tell me all you gotta do is just.
Because I'm gonna say, you know, in my
And
head,
then
it's gonna
after
be
that,
hard.
after all you gotta do is just, I find myself outside chasing something I
Buck.
can't
I
catch.
mean, I'm just saying, you know.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. No, I'm up for it because I think raising those pigs, it definitely brought forth some character in me that I did not know I had. Like, it challenged the hell out of me. So I feel like on this journey of self discovery and farming, I was able to really resolve a lot of little simple issues just by working with these animals. It will really challenge you and bring forth something in you that you did not know you had. Like, for example, getting ready to load up those pigs, I realized that I needed to. Now, you know, everybody that knows me says I'm sensitive.
Right.
That's been like my.
That's not minimizing. Yes.
It's not minimizing, no, but that's been a label I've always had as being sensitive, right?
Right.
So when it was time to move them pigs to the butcher, it wasn't time for me to be sensitive and so easily offended.
Mm-hmm.
It was time for me to put down that childish offense and be vulnerable so that I could adapt to how quickly things were moving. You feel me? Like, being stuck in a fence will have you in a place where you can't receive any information. So at that point, when you are part of the plan got to stop and wait on you to get finished being mad because somebody hurt your feelings. Now, let's be clear, respect, and you know, we talk to each other with respect and we listen to each other. But there are some moments where I know for a fact I can get offended when there's no real offense. It's literally because I don't know what I'm doing. I get insecure, and then it makes me feel like, not like it makes me feel vulnerable, but in a scary way. When in that moment, it's not time for that. Like, it's time for me to be vulnerable so I can listen, get the information, and move on to the next part of the plan. So that, like, challenging myself really brought forth that in me and my character moving forward. And I feel like it's going to help me for whatever my next level is in life, you know, putting down that offense. Like,
That's big too. And I feel like for me, it also helps me work on myself too, because I mean, it's one thing to be, real, and for me, I have to get in the zone to focus on the task at hand and separate myself from the emotions of the situation and just focus on what I have to do. And that's just what it is. We're going to zone in on the task. But then also now I have to connect to the giving other people grace, because it's not just me in the situation.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So on that part, I have evolved. Thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just
yeah,
me.
yeah,
So, you know what I'm saying? And then especially when, dealing with, you're not the only other person that I'm going to have to deal with, and especially in business.
yeah,
So I can't just be, this is not the military. So I can't just be a drill sergeant like, hey, come on,
yeah,
and, people are not my employees all the time. Even if they're my employees, it's a certain way that you have to deal with other people. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So from the outside looking in, other people will probably get the idea that, I'm the sensitive person and that they don't know us. So, you know what I'm saying? They would be very shocked to know the dynamic of everything that goes on.
I mean, but
Like,
looking at us from the outside looking in, I look like the tough guy. And you look like the damsel in distress that's on the side of the road waiting for somebody to show up and change the tire. So, I mean, yeah.
But I'll be the one building stuff and changing the tire and doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know.
Right, because the bottom line is we are both females.
Right. And come on, we got to get this done. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
we both got to deal with our female ways trying to manage whatever situation it is to get done. I mean, excuse me for cussing, but you feel me? I mean, yeah. So yeah, I'm tracking.
And you know what I'm saying? It's all about a mindset. And I'm just saying, it's not arrogant to know who you are and to understand. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Tapping into the mind to know that with Christ you can do anything, and I'm all the way there. I know I can do anything. You know what I'm saying? It may be hard, but at the end of the day, and it's not like I'm just a superhero who just never has, any kind of struggle or whatever, because I cry too. I might be like, oh Lord, this is harder than I thought. And I started off thinking that I could do anything, and now I'm having doubts, because yes, I get to that point too. I sat outside that pig pen on several days by myself crying like, oh God, what did I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I don't know what to do. But then at some point I got to the point where I'm like, I gotta figure it out. And guess what? I did figure it out. And you know what I'm saying? And everything worked out, because I know I'm going to figure it out. I'm not going to just give up and just say, there's no other option.
Ain't that the best part,
There's no other option.
That's the best part, though.
That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's the best part. I know for a fact, last season, it wasn't that long ago for me that I would give up so quick. Like, this was something that I couldn't give up on. I finally met my match. I couldn't walk away from this.
When you take that off the table.
Yeah. When you take giving up away from,
That's
it's not
an
option.
Mm-hmm. Period. Like, you might, even if you have to take a minute to cry about it and say, okay, that's what I want to do, but that's not an option.
The biggest challenge for me was getting to a point where I couldn't figure out something. It was like my insecurities would overwhelm me in those moments. And that the negative self-talk, it don't need nothing to get going. Like, oh, you can't do this. You don't know how to do this. Nobody's going to help you. The thoughts just start filling up. And that stuff feels so real.
Right. But you have to learn how to separate the truth from a lie.
Yeah.
You have to learn how, even if it seems like it's just a thought, it's just you thinking that or whatever, you still have to learn how to separate the truth from a lie. Like, and learn how to recognize those thoughts. Yeah. Like, you'll be thinking 1 minute, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. But then once you do it, write it down. I was thinking that I couldn't do that, but guess what I did? Make a note of it. It might seem like such a minor thing, but make a note of it. Yeah. Because guess what? Clearly, if you thought you couldn't do it and you did, it was a lie. You recognize that voice that was telling you couldn't do it was a lie. So the next time that comes up, you can remember, no, because the last time I was thinking that I couldn't do something, I did it. So clearly that is a liar. It's a liar voice telling me that I can't do stuff, because whenever it comes up, I do those things. So that's a lie. So I know that now. So let that be a tool that you use to say no. Every time that comes up, I know it's a lie. So you can just fight against that one thing and know that's a lie, because then it's going to change. It always does.
Yeah.
Now, once you do that thing, you know that's a lie. It'll change and say, oh, I did it, but it wasn't good enough. I could have did that better than what I did.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't good enough. But first you said I couldn't do it. But now that I did it, it wasn't good enough.
So you know how you talked about giving people grace? The only way that you can truly give other people grace is if you give yourself some grace.
Right.
So in order, like when you say about the negative self-loop, the ruminating, the I can't do this and I can't do that, that is where you need to pour into yourself and give yourself some grace and say, oh, yes, I can.
Right.
Oh, yes, I can. I absolutely can do it. There's nothing that's going to stop me from doing it. I'm doing it right now while I'm talking. While I'm having these negative thoughts, I'm already doing it. I'm working on it. It's done.
Right.
So you got to give yourself some grace, and then you'll have plenty for other people. You'll be in overflow. Like there's nobody can walk in a room and change what you got going on because you being so graceful and so peaceful. It's like, okay, I could kill you, but I'm gonna let you live. I heard what you said. I'll let you live because I'm not offended. I got a plan. I got somewhere to be. I got somewhere to go, you know.
And why would I use my energy on that? Because I need it for whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. All right. So last year, last summer, I think it was, we went to Quacky Feet Duck Farm in Nauvoo, Alabama. It ain't far from us. We in West Alabama. I think that's in towards Walker County type situation. So it's about an hour away from us. But we went there to a duck farm. When I got there, I was pleasantly surprised at the ducks and
all the other animals that they had.
They had so many animals.
Because I was just thinking it was going to be ducks since it was a duck farm.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be ducks too. I was surprised to see everything that was there. But the funniest part to me was those aggressive geese. So I guess geese protect ducks. And they do a damn good job at protecting those ducks. They are very aggressive. No, not like in a mean way though. They weren't like, they didn't pull out a gun on us or nothing. Right. But I mean, it was just like it was dope. Yeah. What'd you think about the duck farm?
I loved it. I know the kids had a good time.
Yeah, they did.
They really enjoyed it.
So Selena and Rachel Hagan run Quacky Feet Duck Farm, and they welcomed us into their home and showed us all of their animals and talked with us a little while about some things that they plan for the future and how they are just getting started farming, and some of the challenges that they had doing this for the first time. They don't know anybody else well, I don't know if they know any other people, but it ain't like they came from 5th generation duck farming or something. So they're pretty much in the same boat as we are as far as trying to find their way in farming.
Don't squeeze too hard. It's okay. He doesn't bite. Just hold him on your hands like this and just cover him like that. There you go.
Sort of like a chick.
Yeah, like a chick. I'm Selena Hagan. It's my wife, Rachel Hagan.
We are Quack Dealers at Quacky Feet Farm. We are a duck hatchery, and BIP certified and hatchery licensed. We've been hatching ducks for 2 years. Well, we've hatched ducks for 3 years, but we've sold ducks for 2 years.
Mornings for me start with getting up, getting the ducks out, because we lock all the ducks up at night. So we want to make sure they're safe. So I got to go out there. I got to let them all out of their houses. There's 15 houses. I got to fill up 15 pools, fill up 15 water troughs, and feed 15 food buckets. And then I collect all the eggs. And sometimes we may have a handful of eggs, like right now, because of the season. A lot of the animals aren't really laying really well right now because of the heat and humidity and stuff. And then sometimes you walk out there and there's 3 dozen eggs. You know, it's just crazy. Did we know anything about ducks when we first started? No. We knew. We went to Amsterdam for our honeymoon. We came back. We're like, we had just bought the property. We want to start a farm. Let's just start with ducks. Be the easiest things. So we started off with 4, and then we started to learn more about what their needs are, how they grow, and stuff like that. And then from there, it just kind of blew up. It was hard though at first because you really don't know
what you're getting into.
You kind of feel like, am I doing this right? And my mom thinks we're crazy, but I think for the first year and a half, maybe even 2 years, my mom's like, Selena, you really need to get a real job. You need to get a real job. She's more concerned about me losing my Social Security and all this other stuff. It's like, Mom, there comes a time where you just got to step out of the box and do something different. This is what we want to do. Let us give it a shot. So
I love that.
it's crazy though. But now she's like, oh, let me see the duckies. Let me see how much stuff you can today.
She plans on coming back in the spring to help us with the garden out back.
Yeah.
She's on board now. And I love doing the garden. I love starting to steal the seedlings and transplanting them, getting the soil ready. That's my big thing. And if I could do that all the time, 24/7, I would. Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
See, I don't really particularly like the garden.
So you don't like...
I love the fruits of her labor.
Right.
But I don't particularly like to labor out there collecting the fruits. We want to transition from being quack dealers to being quack healers. So what we want to do is we want to become a sanctuary for waterfowl.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of need out there for that.
Okay.
Ducks being dumped and geese being dumped in local ponds, and they can't survive.
Yeah, they got rabbits,
Turtles. They got the Ninja Turtles.
Donatello, Raphael. I don't know what the last one was.
I think they got all the Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
They got rabbits, birds,
Yeah.
the geese,
Yeah.
and the ducks.
Okay. So they got birds, rabbits, potatoes, birds, rabbits, turtles, geese, ducks, puppies. They had puppies.
Right.
You name it. They had puppies.
They did.
So yeah, they had birds, rabbits, puppies, turtles. Dang, I keep forgetting how to do it. Turtles, puppies, rabbits, birds, geese, ducks, puppies. You name it. So look, while we was over there, I was asking Selena and Rachel about resilience because, man, like when you trying to do things, I know I'm heavy on like getting nervous about something and just wanting to stop, So I'm like, I finally got to a place that I have grown out of that. I'm in a season where I'm outgrowing all that emotional immaturity. It's useless when you're trying to get stuff done. All these immature feelings about little petty stuff that goes on. But in the course of me working through that, I be wondering how other people, keep going on. When they working on something, because I'm like, I know it's other people out here that work on
that, and then if you don't have any help, or if you do have help, or what are you doing?
Like, how do you what where are you getting from? What are you digging? What well is pouring into you to help you keep going?
Right.
But I had asked her about resilience and perseverance, and just trying to see if she could give us some type of encouragement. Because at that point, we were doing pretty bad at that point when we talked to them last summer. That was when we had just got the pigs, and 2 of them took off and left. And then we caught COVID. It was a really kind of, it was kind of a lot going on around that time, You don't remember?
I don't.
You still got COVID fog?
I might, because I don't remember what was going on in our life at that time.
Okay, I was keeping record of what was going on, and it was a lot. going on at that point. That was like
I
last.
mean, I trust your man.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, you know, and I just really like how what she was talking about, how she, you know, just kept pushing through. Just sometimes you got to take a break, take a step back, look at what you've gotten done so far, take inventory, categorize some things, and then at some points you got to figure out, does some of this stuff need to fall away? You know, because
That's a good point.
not everything that you do in your self-discovery is going to be something that you're going to continue to do forever, for 6 months, for 6 years. It's self-discovery. You're always reinventing yourself every time you learn something. Even if you do something like I might decide that I want to start doing construction, which we know will never happen. But let's just say I decide that I want to build.
That's not true. Because we have some things that we need to build right now. Who knows?
'Cause we do have to build a bunch of stuff out here.
What about that donkey stall?
And the hutch for the rabbits.
Right.
Okay.
So to never say never.
Okay, so good point. So let's just say I go out here and I build the best rabbit hutch, right?
Right.
And then I build like the best donkey stall. And then I build like the chicken tractors.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just say I build all
Right.
these things and it's amazing and they sell out. Let's just say people order them from all across the world. Like people from all over.
You went all in.
Yeah, like let's just say these are the most amazing things that have ever been built, right?
Okay.
So let's say I do this and I'm very successful, and then one day I wake up and say I don't want to do this no more. That's absolutely acceptable.
Right.
Because some things may fall away. You may love some things for a short period of time, and then it's like, you know, I don't want to do this no more. And that's fine.
But sometimes people stress themselves out by trying to hold on to things when the season for it has expired,
That's true.
you know.
And then you wind up with so much stuff on your plate. Sometimes you got to go clean your plate a little bit. Go get you a new dish.
Right.
We out here, you know.
I said this earlier this last week. I wasn't feeling well. It's hot and humid. Our hatch rates this year have been horrible. I mean, it's just, you know, it was to the point where like I'm tired of trying to hatch eggs that don't hatch, and I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something different, you know. And this one got really busy with work because they moved from one building to another. So she was spent like the last 3 weeks doing that and spending a lot of time doing that. So her garden got neglected, and she came home and was like, "Oh, the okra plants have fallen over because the okra's gotten too heavy because my wife won't go in the garden and cut the okra because the grass is empty." But we just kind of, like, she told me because I was just in the mood, and I rarely get like that. But she's like, "Slim, why don't you just think about it for a week and then we'll talk about it?" So,
Give it a little time.
Just give it a little time to think about it. I was like, "Okay, yeah, you're right." I was ornery, and you know, when you're ornery, you just kind of say whatever comes out your mouth. But then you got to realize, and like she said, you just got to take a step back and look at your life and say, you know, what's my choice right now? I can walk away from this, or I can continue. If I walk away from this, I'm going to have to go back to working a 9-to-5 job. I'm going to have to go back to people telling me what to do. I'm going to have to go back to the stress and stressors of the world, where I can stay home, do what I love. Yeah, I'm going to have some ornery days, but what's better than that? I mean, I have coworkers or old coworkers that are like, "I can't believe you're doing that." And they're like, "I wish I had the fortitude to do what you do, or the gumption to do what you do." It's like, just do it, you know. Well, we also have our neighbors down the road that we kind of merged with them a little bit. We've got something. They're called Southern Style Homestead. So they're the ones that teach us how to do all the canning and all the farming and how to do all that stuff, so that we know what we're doing and we're not just flying by the seat of our pants out here. You can find us on TikTok at Quacky Feet Farm. Actually, let's start over. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. all at Quacky Feet Farm.
Quacky Feet Farm.
Yeah,
Okay.
Quacky Feet Farm. You may not know what you're doing because there's a lot of times we don't.
Right.
I mean, we didn't know.
We research a lot. We look a lot of stuff up.
Right.
Figure
Yeah.
out how to do it.
God,
Yeah.
where would we be with the internet right now?
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. This is our 4th episode, and thank you for still watching us. 'Cause- Here we go.
Thank you for watching, guys.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, share it with some of your friends who want to do something for the first time or just want to laugh.
Or if you know anybody else who might be interested in this content, just share it with them.
Like, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment.